everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Katie, and this is YIN Yoga for Runners. This is a really gentle, slow practice, short and sweet, that is the perfect way to release any tightness that you might get if you're doing a lot of running. All you're going to need for this class is a couple of cushions. If you happen to have some yoga bricks, grab those to hand as well. Or you can use a home alternative. I find a Tupperware box or something like that can work just as well. We're going to make a start in child's pose, so head there when you're ready. And for your child's pose, have the knees slightly wider than the hips. Hips are sinking back to heels, and just stretch the arms forwards. And if the arms forwards feels a little bit too tight, perhaps move the hands under your forehead to create a little pillow instead. Letting the hips melt down over the heels. Close your eyes. And we just enjoy a few breaths just to kind of check in with ourselves. So breathe a little bit deeper. And start to notice how your body feels. Where are the sensations? Where does it feel tight? Where is the breath getting a little sticky? Our yin practice is one that is a really calm practice. We have the opportunity to hold poses for a little longer than we would in, say, a vinyasa practice. So it allows us to explore a little more depth and a little bit more of our flexibility. And it's just a really nice way to loosen up tight muscles. Let's enjoy just one more big deep breath in. If you need to, perhaps open the mouth, big sigh. And then just starting to rise up to your tabletop. Take your time, just move slow, no rush. And when you reach your tabletop, if you need to, perhaps just send one leg back at a time, just for a little release before we move into our next posture. So we're going to be coming into dragon. You might know it as lizard pose in a vinyasa practice. Starting with the left foot, just step your left foot outside your left hand. And if you need to, just wiggle the toes forward, sliding the hips forwards. Bring your left knee over the top of your left ankle so your shin is nice and vertical. Hands are staying on the inside, so this is where your bricks might come into hand. If you feel like this is quite tight and the floor is a little bit far away, just bring one hand onto each block, under the shoulders, and let the hips relax. So this can be a little uncomfortable for the kneecap as well. If you need some extra padding, you could always just bring a cushion under that right knee as well. And we just stay here. You have the option to maybe lift the gaze and soften the gaze over the tip of the nose as you just encourage the shoulders away from the ears. If you feel like you want to explore something a little more in this pose, you could lower the bricks and encourage your elbows closer towards the ground. So just get a little bit more through that left hip. And we breathe. So this is a great pose for the hip flexors and the quads. So you'll be feeling it in the left hip a little bit, but we're predominantly working into the right leg at the moment. So just let the hips drop under gravity. Try and keep your upper body soft, apart from the muscles you need to hold you in this shape. Relax your face. And just breathe through the sensations. Our yin practice is a really gentle way just to open up and create space in the body. And the hip flexors in particular certainly get rather tight when we are running a lot. And this shape, although it will release that hip flexor, also really good for preventing injury and that kind of thing as well. All right, enjoy just one more big breath in. And then slowly just rise on up. Use your hands. Taking care, step your left foot back behind you. Return to your tabletop. And perhaps maybe just straighten out the legs once again. Shift from side to side if you need it. And then when you're ready, we're going to move to the other side. So perhaps just shimmy that cushion over under your left knee. Again, if you need the blocks, grab them to hand. An easy step forwards with the right foot. And again, we're looking for that vertical shin. If you feel like the hips are super tight, you can always slightly turn out the right toes. So perhaps staying a little more upright just for the first few breaths. Just easing your body into the shape, noticing how this side feels. And then perhaps moving the chest a little closer to the floor when it feels right. Letting the muscles that you don't need to be holding onto, just letting those relax. Our yin practice, a lot of the challenge is just holding the pose and just letting the pose do its work. So try not to fidget. Just tap into this sense of calm from just enjoying a moment to breathe a little slower and move a little slower. The depth will come from the more time we spend in the shape, not from trying to force it a little bit deeper. Taking one more big breath in here. And slowly starting to make your way out once again. And we're just going to go back to tabletop. Move with care. Perhaps sliding the cushion out from underneath you. Maybe moving the blocks out your way. And coming to sit up on the knees. Take your time. Slide off to one side and just come onto your bottom. Scooch forwards to the top of your mat so you've got some space behind you. So we're going to visit Reclined Hero now. This is a really nice one to open up the thighs and the quads. Have a cushion to hand just in case. So starting with the left leg, just roll onto your right hip and pull your left heel towards your left bum. Make sure you're pointing the toes and then gently just ease your sitting bones back towards the ground. You want the left foot to reside slightly outside the left hip, so you're getting a little internal rotation. So you want to make sure this doesn't feel uncomfortable for your knee. And if it is a little tight, that's where your cushion is going to come into play. Lift up your right sitting bone and just slide the cushion underneath just the right hand side, and that'll just level the hips. So it'll take some of the stress out of the knee. And then we just start to lean back. So you could just rest here. This might be enough. Breathing into the heart, perhaps gently lifting the gaze. If you notice that there might be a little bit more space and you want to feel a little more sensation, perhaps you can start to drop to the elbows. So we are introducing a back bend now, so take care with how this feels in your lower back. And our final option is to come to lie all the way down on the shoulders. So this will be really opening the front of the body, particularly that left thigh. And if it's available, perhaps take the arms up and overhead. Closing the eyes. Just breathing here for a minute. Let your right leg soften. Just feel that connection with the earth and that heaviness in your body. In your yin practice, you don't have to feel maximum sensation. That's why we use props to support the shape, because we have to be able to sustain it for a longer period of time than we would in a vinyasa practice. So it doesn't need to be completely overwhelming the sensations in your body. Just kind of an encouragement in the shape is what you're looking for. And over time, the depth and the space will open. Just another few breaths on this side. When you're ready, take your time, move carefully, conscious of that left knee. Perhaps if you're all the way down, just rising to elbows, use your hands, and then just easing yourself to sit up. And as you made your way into this shape, we do the same to come out. Gently lean over to the right-hand side and release your left leg forwards. Maybe just roll off your cushion for a moment and have a little tap into the knees, or perhaps even planting the feet to the floor and just enjoying a little twist side to side to release the hips. And then when you're ready, we're going to move on to the other side. So the left leg stays straight now. You lean onto the left-hand side and you pull your right foot to your right butt cheek. Make sure both thighs are facing forwards, kind of straight down. Make sure both sitting bones can come to the floor, or again, if you need that support, this time the cushion moves underneath just your left sitting bone to level the hips. Once you've arrived into your shape, however you need it, lean back. And depending on how this feels, you could always use 2 cushions if you need some extra height, or your block. And with your yin practice, as much as we want to find stillness in these poses, that is so important. There's nothing to say that you can't kind of micro move or slightly adjust the shape once you feel like you've found your edge, once you feel like the sensation is not so much and you want to find more, then perhaps you make the shape move a little bit to find extra. So that might mean getting a little bit lower with the shoulders, perhaps moving onto the elbows or all the way onto the floor like the other side, depending on how this shape feels in your body. So you want to be careful that your right knee isn't off the floor. If that is the case, back off a little bit. You want to keep your right knee on the ground. And the same, if there's any pinching in the lower back, please back out a little bit. Rise the shoulders a little bit higher. Your yin practice is a really nice way just to enjoy a moment to stop. Stop doing, stop thinking. Just a little pause in your day. Final few breaths on this side. as before, starting to make your way out the shape. Please take care. And we return just to sitting up. Lean over to the left-hand side. Release your right leg gently forwards. Lose the cushion for now. We might need it in a moment. And just have a little tap into the knees, or again, little sway of the legs side to side. Whatever's needed. So the last pose we're going to explore is our forward fold. Nice and easy, sending the legs out straight. So the hamstrings are, again, part of the body that gets quite tight when you're running. That motion of pulling your heel up towards your bum as you run. So this is going to be a lovely, gentle way to open out those hamstrings. Couple of options if you need to. If you feel like sitting up, you're fighting your lower back and you're constantly wanting to lean back, sit on a cushion or maybe even a brick. Cushion might be a little more comfortable though. And that just gives the pelvis a little bit of height so that you can encourage a tilt forwards. Legs are out straight and just relax the feet. Take a big stretch up to the sky. Inhale. And then just reach as far forwards as you can. Let the arms come to rest either side of the legs and bow the head down. So if you feel like there's quite a lot of space between your upper body and your legs, and it's not that easy to just let yourself hang into that space, you could always use another cushion or another couple of cushions. Bring that cushion onto your thighs, reach over the top of the cushion, and it just helps fill that space so you've got a bit more support if you need it. Once you are in your shape, close the eyes. Really just let go of the shoulders, let go of the head, and just start to drop down towards the legs. And you'll feel that sensation, stretch sensation down the back of the legs. And this can actually be a lovely release too for the lower back. So you want to just allow gravity to gently weigh down on your upper body. Breathe into the back side of the legs. And slowly your upper body just creeps a little deeper. Let the kneecaps be soft. Really relax your toes. Just closing down the space at your hip crease. Let the mind be clear and free of any busyness. Just enjoying this pause, body and mind. The last few breaths here. Taking that final big deep inhale, maybe open the mouth, sigh it away. Slowly start to lift your head. Use your hands if you need it. Just make your way out of the shape. And perhaps lean back, maybe a little wiggle of the legs. Again, always the option for that sway of the knees as well. Moving into Savasana, just our last moment to pause. Slide off your cushion and just bring one cushion under each knee. That little lift under the knee will just help the legs really relax. Using your hands, just come to lie flat on your back. Make yourself comfortable. Grab a blanket if you need one close your eyes and just let your hands rest somewhere on your body, perhaps just on your tummy or on your chest. Closing the eyes, take a nice big deep inhale through the nose and let it go. This final moment here. Just notice the front of your body feel heavy and sink towards the back of your body. And the back of your body touching the ground gets heavier into the floor, connecting you to the earth, to this moment in time, in your practice here on the mat. If you would like to stay longer in Savasana, by all means, please do. Otherwise, just start to breathe a little bit bigger. Inviting a little wiggle of fingers and toes to wake yourself up. And eventually enjoying a nice big stretch. Send the arms up and overhead. Bring both knees into your chest and just give yourself a little hug. Perhaps add a gentle little rock side to side. When you're ready, roll over to one side and press up to a comfortable seated position. Perhaps even just grabbing one of your cushions to sit on. The eyes full closed. And we give ourselves one last moment here at the end just to notice how we now feel. As always, thank yourself for the time and the energy you've given to your practice. Bringing palms to touch at the heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching this video, everybody. Yin Yoga for runners. I hope you enjoyed. Please do get in touch if you have any questions. If there's anything that you think I might be able to help with in your practice, I would be happy to help. Would be lovely to hear from you. And I would love for you to share my channel with those that need it. Subscribe, comment, share it on your Instagram if you do any of my flows. It's so nice to see. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.